One of the most popular niches on Shopify, the one that produces billions and billions of dollars every single year, is the fashion niche. And in today's video, I want to break down an incredible fashion store that is super inspiring. It's a luxury streetwear brand that you may have heard about if you're into fashion, but if you haven't, then today's video is going to be a treat. It's called Gallery Department, and as you see, they sell incredible clothes at luxury prices. So for example, these t-shirts that they sell are $295, $450. So the margins here are absolutely incredible for this business. And I want to show you some of their traffic estimates, some of their Shopify store details here so that you can use them and note them down for your fashion brand. And I just want to talk about the broader niche as well and how you could start something like this. Of course, these guys have a ton of unfair and competitive advantages, which I'm a big believer. If you got competitive advantages, stack them as much as you can. One of them is that they produce everything in-house. So, they're not shipping from China. They're not even shipping from, a third-party logistics center. It seems that they are doing all their production and branding in-house. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but it does seem like they're producing things in LA, which is super cool. I think that's amazing. And if you are willing to do that, I think you can command some of these luxury prices. This hoodie, for example, is $1,195. Again, I personally really like this store a lot. If I was to buy or acquire a stake in a fashion store, I would actually love to acquire a stake in this brand because I think these are really, really good prices to build a sustainable business. I know it sounds crazy because most people charge like, $10, $20 for a t-shirt or maybe $50 to $100 for a hoodie. But this gives you so much room to do cool stuff. That's kind of the great thing about charging high prices is that, first of all, not everybody's going to be buying this, right? And you don't need everybody to be buying this. Like the traffic estimates for this and revenue estimates is $15 to $22 million a year. I've done a lot of research here. And they were founded in 2018. So from 2018 to now they're doing, about 15 to 20 million a year. The margins are probably absolutely massive because, it probably costs at the most like $100 to produce this hoodie. It's probably much less than that. So the markup is really, really high. Again, that's not a bad thing though. Of course, it's not a great thing if you're somebody that's living paycheck to paycheck and you want to buy this. I don't recommend you do so. But there's a lot of people out there that use fashion as a way to express themselves and they have the money to spend on this stuff. So why not sell it to them at a price that's going to make them feel really good about it and also at a price that's going to help you have a lot of margin so that you can do a lot of cool stuff. And that's what this brand is about, right? So their philosophy is collaborate, create, and rebel, which is pretty cool. They believe in creating a unique experience and doing things differently. They don't sacrifice quality or artistic integrity. This is another cool thing that I want to note down that's like a very small detail. But a lot of brands that actually do big things have these like very clear missions and brand statements. And I recommend if you are building your brand, make a brand statement like this, right? Like think about it. This is stuff that we're doing too at ShopiLab. If you just go to our ShopiLab platform, you can see the About Us. We have very clear missions here and the reasons why we built this whole community and accelerator software. But we can see on their site, I'm checking it with the traffic analyzer here, and we can see a lot of their traffic is from the US, but also from Canada. So they are getting a good amount of traffic from Canada and all over the world too. Like the US only makes up 41% of their traffic, which is obviously a lot, but they have a global presence. And that's also what's really cool about the fashion niche is that fashion trends are copied across the world, right? But that's actually the case with a lot of different e-commerce brands and a lot of different e-commerce products, especially the problem solvers too, because problem-solving products solve problems that people experience pretty much everywhere in the world. So for example, in my last video, I showcased a niche that was the bug repellent niche. So there's clothes that people can buy that repel bugs. And that's kind of interesting. But, that's a niche that's probably popular even in like Thailand, right? And these are places that not a lot of people are thinking about when it comes to e-commerce, of course, but they should be. They're emerging markets and, they're absolutely huge markets. And I think with this tariff situation, we're really going to experience the beginning of a global e-commerce renaissance. I know that may be an optimistic take. I think it'll be painful in the short term for sure for a lot of businesses. It won't be as painful for the businesses that are very lean, that produce things in the US or that sell things worldwide, which I recommend you do. But it's also going to really enable a lot of markets to start thriving and a lot of new opportunities to come into play. So I really like that. Now, another thing I want to point out about this is I love how they mention the artistic details. So they don't just say details, they say artistic details. And that's kind of the point of this brand. It's like very artsy. It's a very art-based brand. And that's, again, why they charge so much. Each piece is like a piece of art. So by the way, if anybody's watching from this brand, the founder, I know the founder, his name's Josue. I would love to talk. I would love to maybe, buy a piece of this somehow. I know that sounds kind of bold, but I've been really, really interested in acquiring businesses. So also, if you have a TikTok shop of any kind, an Amazon store, just hit me up, okay? Hit me up if you're looking to exit your business in some capacity. But brands like this are especially interesting to me. I love that it's 100% cotton. I love that it's made in the US, and I personally do love that it's so artistic. I consider myself a bit of an artist in a weird way too, but with this Shopify stuff. Now, if we continue down here, you can see it's just a lot of images, some related items. And this is what I love about the fashion niche, right? You don't have to try too hard to sell it. As long as you have good images and you explain the product in a way that fits your brand image, you don't even need reviews. You don't even need anything else. Like, it's really that simple. And that's one of the reasons why fashion is one of the biggest niches, is because it's really simple. It's very impulse driven, and it's kind of something that, unless you're into fashion and buying clothes, you don't really understand, which is a lot of people in ecom. A lot of people in ecom or that build businesses are kind of nerdy people that, don't even care about the clothes that they wear, right? So of course you're not going to understand why fashion is so powerful. But if you are somebody that understands fashion, you have a huge competitive advantage because you actually understand why people would buy something. So as I mentioned, when you have these high margins, it enables you to do some pretty cool things like, they're making music, they're making films, you can even book an appointment to their LA store. They have like a flagship store. They have stylists. That's super cool, right? And they would not be able to do this if they were selling $50 hoodies, right? They're able to do this because their margins are so high and their brand image is so strong and aligned with their mission that they can print really big margins, sell really expensive things, and go the luxury route. Now, here's another collection that they're working on, work in progress, a solo exhibition by Josue Thomas, work in progress, breaking news, you're late, tomorrow was yesterday. That's pretty cool. And then more new releases. As you see, they're always pumping out new products, and they're all at that expensive price range because they were able to break out into that luxury niche, which is not easy to do, of course. I don't really know exactly how you do it, but they were able to do it. Now, I did look up gallery department in the meta ads library just to see if they're running any ads. It doesn't seem they're running any ads. I think they should. I think they can make some really cool, brand aesthetic ads, and it would definitely help their mission, in my opinion. If they just made some film-esque kind of ads, they could just run those at low budgets and print money with them, but also expand their mission and vision forward further. Oh yeah, through the ShopiLab Accelerator platform, we have a Shopify detector, and this is actually how I found out that they use Shopify, and also I found out the theme that they use. So their base theme is the Symmetry theme. It's a $380 theme, so it's not cheap, but if you really want to go with this luxury vibe, I definitely recommend that you use it. That's what they're using, so you could use it as well. But what I found interesting from looking them up is that a lot of people are actually selling these as like a consignment. So a lot of people are running brands where they sell products from other brands. So for example, these guys, 017shop.ca, it's a Canadian brand, and they sell chrome hearts. They sell, some other stuff here that I've never really heard about, Charles Jeffrey Loverboy. But it looks super cool, right? This is a really cool looking store, and apparently they carry their products, and they're definitely running ads. As you see, let's take a look at some of their ads. They're running 3 different ads, not bad. Let's see, Chrome Hearts. So they're just running ads to their homepage, which is not optimal at all. Again, the fashion niche has so much potential because it's just filled with really creative people, but they just don't understand the structure of ads and like what performs optimally. It's okay though, but yeah, if you run a fashion brand and you got a cool vision like that, also reach out to me. I would love to help scale it in some way or potentially acquire it if it makes sense. But yeah, I didn't know too much about this brand. I've known about it, but I never really explored it to this level. So I'm happy that I got to do it with you. And if you are interested in building out your brand and you want to access all our data, all our training, our sourcing partners, our courses, our ad templates, you can apply to join in the description. It's not for everybody. I don't want to shove it down your throat in any way. I just want to mention it for those of you that do feel like you're a good fit for it and you really want to take your Shopify journey seriously. But for everyone else, continue to watch the channel. We're also continuously working on more free resources. In fact, some of these are free. Like for example, our calculators here, you can calculate your break-even ROAS. You can use all of this for free, and you can join our Discord for free, and we'll continuously make more free resources for those of you that are on a tight budget, but you still want to launch your side hustle or your business in some way. That's definitely the mission here. But yeah, I really want to know what you think about this store. If you've heard of this brand before, if you own some gallery department clothes, I'm definitely curious about it. And yeah, that's about it. Peace.